See how to work with Axis2, how to publish and consume web services using Axis2. So first, we have to download Eclipse, right? The second thing, we should have a Tomcat installed, which is the path given here. The third thing is we have to install Axis2. If you visit this website, you will get a WAR file. Where I will also distribute it to you right now. Once you want to, at the end of this session, I will give you this software to you so that you can actually work on it. You don't have to download it, but you can just use that WAR file. Okay. So once you download this WAR file, if you want to download it, you have to deploy that in a Tomcat. So it could be done manual deployment, or manual deployment is something directly copying into a Tomcat web apps folder, or for deployment. Basically, you are passing the WAR file, the WAR file automatically using a user interface. That is a hot deployment. Okay. So installing, now once you are done with this is the basic setup done. The first thing, you are developing Axis2, you are developing web services for Axis2 Engine. Okay, so now here the engine which you are using is Axis2. Okay, so for simplicity's sake, or for generating a lot of artifacts or web services artifacts for Axis2, so you should have some plugins. You should have a plugin for your Eclipse. So you can download 2 plugins from the market. So one is the code generation wizard, and second one is the service archiver wizard. So these 2 plugins are used for generating artifacts compatible with Axis2 Engine. Okay, and after that, archiving or generating AAR file, Axis2 archive, generating the archive. And the archive is basically your entire web services is archived, and finally you deploy it. So once you are done, you can start working with generating this digital document, right? Create consumer application. Okay. Create a Java project. Now let us go have that document with you. Go to step number 5. Go to step number 5. First, create project book price service provider. This is the provider application. This is the same core Java project. Next thing, what you have to do? The visual document. For next, book price service. Here, change the reason why you have to change the package structure generated. Access to a lot of artifacts, the classes. So your classes generate your names package. So it would be the reverse order. Then here the URL is what? http://home.org/bookprice. When I create package, it's kind of org.petworm.price package. Always you want to change the package name, the target name. Now I want to use messaging style as document, coding style as visual to our select desktop. Now click finish. Now this is sample visual document. Now let us modify this XML visual document as per our name. So what is the request type which you have to do? It is a book price rate. The type check. Now what is the parameter of this? Basically we have something This is a response type. Book price. Here the element is, what is the type? Once you create XSD types, then you have to associate these types with the method. Here, just change the book request and associate the XSD types with book price request. This is the document style will have only one part element, and this is book response method. Here you have to associate book price response. If you want to change the port number, you equivalent to your service endpoint. To service endpoint. Now I want to change book service. Now I want to give a service name as get book price. Now this is equivalent to service method. Right? Now once you create the service method, how to associate book request message and book response message. So these are the methods. Once you create this port type, and don't forget to associate this with the binding. Sometimes you forget this, and because of that, your access fails to do a proper message. And you spend 6 nights, there will be no sleep. Service, you can just keep it as it is, no problem. And this is the URL. Change once we deploy this. Here you have to the operation, remember the operation, and this should be as well as this. So this is the visual document which we have created. Now let us generate artifacts from this. So once you add the plugin, the service archiver plugin, and as well as code generation plugin, the control N. If you type access as how to access code generation as well as access service archive. First thing is generate the code, generate the artifact by passing the next. From next, here you can find two options: generate Java source from visual file or generate a visual file from Java source. Now it is distinct two approaches. This is code first and this is first. So this is the bottom up approach and the top down. So here select the visual document. Where is the visual document present? I have to path, copy the path, now control N, Axis2 code generator, click on next, enter, browse for the, when you go to browse, you have, since you have copied the document, copy the visual document here, click on next. So here code generation option, select custom. By default, if you observe here, default always it generates client side code. I want to generate a producer and code. So I have to change this custom. So look at this package name. The custom package name. So remember that in a namespace we have given what we have given and what it has generated. So always your package name is upon the name, target name of your business document. So here, now I am interested in a server-side code. Now select all these services.xml is required for archiving. This generates and point into. So usually my configuration not security area is less, so that I couldn't show you the options here. Now if you have a high resolution, then you could see the advanced option also. Okay, so here I am unable to see the text. So now if you have a high resolution, then you can see, you can change your custom package or change the custom package. So not specify the package name, won't change. Since I am unable to see, I couldn't show you that. Click on next. So here you have to provide path where the access binaries. Now I will tell you that you have to download access to binaries as well. First, you want to generate artifacts from access. Now you have to provide access to a path to where the binaries are. Here, now this is where in my machine the access to binaries are present. Here I have copied access to 2.1 -pin. And you have to tell where exactly these sources should be. Okay, so fine with this. Click on OK. And you have to say. So now it has started generating the code. Now it has successfully completed. If you look at it, there is a package. There is a package created and there are a lot of classes. So now here, if you look at it, this is the code generated by the access runtime. Now there are a lot of errors here. Format this. Format. So now to resolve all these errors, to associate the binaries, you add all your AND specific libraries to build path. So now I'll create a user library. I have to do it this time. So I'll create a user library called as Axis. Now in this library, I'll add all the jars. So where are my jar files present? Go to the E directory. Here, jobs. I have a list. All the active. And you can also add new. Add jar. Intros folder, you will have some more jars. There are many jars and there are jars which are not essential. But for the testing purpose, we will add everything. Click on OK. Now you have this access library added. Now whatever project you do, just need to add this user library to your project. So add every time. Click on Finish. So Axis2 library is added. It contains all the jar files. Now all errors we had before has been solved. Everything has been solved. Now let us see what are the classes it has generated. There are many classes. Now we are interested in this book price service skeleton. What is this? This is where you need to provide your. Okay, now by default it throws unsupported operation. So what we need to do is we need to provide implementation for this business logic. This is book parameter name, and look at this. It's taking a parameter as a book price request, and the return type is a book price response. Now look at the digital document which we have generated. What is the name given here? Book price request and book price response. Now look at the names here. Both are matching. The book price response and book price response. So whatever type. Now these are the types which I told you. This is the response type and this is the subset. Now what does this contain? Contains access to some methods. If you observe, have get ISBN and set ISBN. Now, to get the ISBN number, you have to enter the client. Now, string ISBN. So now what I'm going to do is if ISBN is equal to AB, ASM 1 to 2. Then what I do is float price response here. What I do is result. What I do is and this is the price, book price. Now if else, what do I do? I throw an exception. Throw new time exception. Book doesn't exist. So what happens? If consumer passes the ISBN number to, then the price of the book is set to 120 and they are returning the response. I say, hence what do I do? I throw runtime exception. Here's the message that book ISBN doesn't exist. Now we are done with the implementation. Server side produce a business logic solved. So once you're done with this, now what is the next step? You have to deploy it. Go to step number. Go to step number 8, where step is for deploying a web. Now here on the project, say control N. Now you have another plugin called as Service Archiver. Click on Next. So you have to tell where exactly AR file, Apache archive, recorded Apache archive, where it has to be. Now I have installed my Tomcat in the D directory, tools, Apache 0. Now here you can find something called as Axis.war, which I have already deployed. Now all the web services should be deployed into something called as services. So here, this is the directory. In Axis2, in WebILF, we have something called as services directory. Now we have to provide the path. Now in your case, it's a different path. So I provide the class not there. Now this is the path where the dot class files are available to provide this. Right provider. Here, class files are right. Here's the class file. Now I say next. So I will select the visual document. Here is that visual document. There the visual document. What we have here. Now if you come back to SRC, come back to this project, after your code generation, it would have generated something called as a resources price service process. So you can select either one. Once you create are the ones then generated. I would select this, click on next, click on next. Now here, set the service XML. Now I am asking the automatic. The service contains information required for not the empty chart. Service I would Apache. Okay. On next, this is where classes are available. On next, select the visual document. On next, service.xml. Sometimes that's it. Now click on next. What is the output location? What will be the file name? Okay, site service. Want this to be a file name. What should be the output location? The output location. Now I check the service archive is generated. So here, if you look at it, it's generated called as book price service.ar. Now if you want to see what exactly it has generated, go back to your Apache Tomcat, go to the bin directory, start the server, Already I have copied Axis drawing it. Now it is up and running. Setting into local host. Type host if you have a link called as services. Click on this service. Find some called as the one we have no archive. Now click on this. See a digital document. If you're getting a digital document and it is deployed. Now look at the address. Look at this address, location. So automatically this is the web service, digital document. Now if you're getting this, that you're successfully doing all the operations. If you have any problem in deployment, you will never get this price service. And you have a operation, a operation. What do the operations have? Get book price. Correct? Now we are done with the producer end. Now let's do the. Now I will create another project. Book price for books in. On this copy this model, copy it. You can pass the history task, but sometimes when you're working with the physical digital location, you can provide the history path, but when you're working with it. Now what I do, now I want to create archives for the client. I have the digital document. Right? I have the digital document. Now what I do, I control N, code generator, generate Java code from this. So this is where I have modified the. Click on next. What do you want to generate? I want to generate the client list already. Now remember that what kind of website you want to create synchronous website. So here there is an option to select both. Generate both. Let me click on this. You will see a text on both. Click on next. Now select what is where the output part, where the output has to be. It should be what is the project name? Project name price. Price. This is where I want to generate courses. Now we click on generated. Do it again. Generator. Generated. So generated 4 for the time. So what you have to do, you have to resolve all these errors. You have to add an Axis2 user library to the path. Now select the user library, click on Axis. All these errors will be. If manually you have to copy all those duplicate of the. So let us format this. Now what do you have to do? Look at it, subclass, book price stub. The book price stub. You have all the methods now to. And now this is where the proxy method is present. What do you have to do? Once you have generated your infrastructure or something code, and you have to create your own class. So your client code. So what does this client code contain? This is your testing class. Say book price text. Here book price service sub price dot get. See, the subclass you have a method called as get book price. Then you have to pass. You have to pass the book price. What you have to do is say book price request price. Say dot set, and I will say ISBN 1 2. So what the value of the request? This would generate different type of book price response. Now this would throw some exception. It's usually, since these are the remote methods, they throw remote exception. Access more and so that throws a remote exception. Now we are done with this client code. Now what's the next step? We're done with generating the infrastructure code at both the client and now we have client code to code the website. What is the next step? We do. Okay. So here let us look what we have done. We have created web services provider producer application. So where first we have created a digital document. Now in this digital document here we find about what exactly what we have done. We have created a schema. In that I have created two types: price request. Here I have a book price method. Now we have set all this. Here, what is the name of the service? Input parameter is price. Output message. Finally, the binding style is a document. Coding style is protocol here is okay. Don't forget to provide this URL. But for the first time, you will not have this URL. Now, once you create the visual document, what is the next step? Axis plugin. You can generate the binary. You can generate your code. Once you generate the what is the next step? To use the service archiver, you should generate AAR file and you have to copy it to the Axis service. Once you copy there, your producer end work is done. Now, if you look at it from that, services, get the list of services. You can copy that URL and modify fill document, address location. After that, you can start working on generating the. So once you have the visual document, so what is the next step? You have to generate the binary, Axis2 code archiver, code generator. Now once you generate the code, you have to write your client code where you are invoking a proxy method present in the subclass where you are providing the input information and it is providing you the result is. So now we have done programmatically. Now let us visualize something called as a scope UI. This is a testing tool where you can test or where you can look at what is the network flow, how the network flows. Your consumer